Greetings, class! This week we will delve into the world of human emotion and its influence on thinking. You will have the opportunity to investigate and discuss techniques that can be used to control your emotions as you enhance your critical thinking skills. So you will be reminded that critical thinking and emotions are inseparable. However, critical thinking can still help you manage your emotions, and in the end, better management of your emotions will help you to be a better critical thinker, especially in highly emotional situations. So our first big concept to further explore is that of the humanity of emotion. Is it really possible for us as humans to leave emotion out? You can try to avoid, deny, or ignore your emotions, but those techniques never really seem to work successfully, or at least for very long. The truth always comes out. You may find that you and others, have also referred to emotions as your disposition, your mood, and sometimes people even refer to emotions as personality or feelings. So emotions are your first expressions at birth, and most likely your last ones before death. These are things that are said without words at times. They're just automatically seen on the face. Some, like surprise, come and go quickly, but others, like love, can last forever. There are a number of theories about why people have emotions, but there is no question that they do. Think of fear, anger, joy, or elation. To some degree, emotions influence every aspect of your thoughts, feelings, and your behaviors. They make you human, not machine. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the HBO documentary Jinx, but at the very end when he admits or denies that he ever did anything, you can, although his composure is he's sitting up straight and everything looks fine, and he says it in the same type of tone that he would normally tell the truth in, he automatically has a very, very physical reaction of burping and getting sick. Great. My lights turned off. Sorry about that. They seem to have turned the lights off on me at work. So the next day, don't worry, back here at it again. Make a list of some of the most important decisions you have made in your life so far. Maybe it was choosing who to date, or whether or not to get married, buying a car, having kids, joining the military, choosing your faith, or going to college. Now think about it. Were those decisions driven primarily, not exclusively, but primarily by logical reasoning or emotion? You may claim it was reasoning, but think about it. The question then is not how do you keep emotion out of your thinking and decision making, but rather how do you manage your emotions in your thinking and decision making process? Remember, it is not an issue of presence or absence, but to what degree. This is further explored and discussed in discussion question 1 this week. So this may be a great time to pause the video and complete DQ1. The next emotion concept this week is that of emotional intelligence. A number of years ago, researchers and writers defined the concept of emotional intelligence as the ability to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions. Although researchers were willing to talk about it and accept the need and value of intellectual competencies, often they were not as open to regarding the emotional ones. Yet growing levels of research indicated that emotional intelligence serves to further and often better in most endeavors. So the more emotionally intelligent you are, it's likely the better you're able to deal with all life events and even think through problems, particularly when interacting with others. So examine the resources indicated within the course materials, and within there should be a lot more information on emotional intelligence. That's a good spot for DQ2 too. So once you've reviewed that information, take a few minutes and then assess your own emotional IQ. And there, I actually will put several little quizzes in the discussion forum this week as well. So this is another great place, again, to pause this video, answer DQ2. The next concept this week is the contemplation of the question, are emotional barriers hurdles to jump over, or are they walls that stop us? So you will find that the course materials and And the topics this week discuss the biases, the defenses, and other types of barriers in people's thinking processes. As the authors in those materials mention, many, maybe even most of these barriers are related to emotions. From self-concept to enculturation to stressors, as with everything else you are thinking, you're presented with multiple opportunities to overwhelm yourself, cognitive overload, to run into many walls. However, you also have the choice to turn those barriers into hurdles instead of walls. So the more scientists study the brain and the thinking process, the more they find that although emotions have a tremendous influence on people's thinking, that process also works in reverse. Quite possibly it will move you forward. So your emotions are a part of your brain, but your willpower has the ability to overrule those emotions. But at the same time, your emotions have the ability to overrule your entire thinking process. Think about going up and giving a speech. For some people, they go up and their page is completely blank. There's no words on there for them to say. In that moment, they're so emotionally overwhelmed that nothing can come to mind. They can't even think of anything to say. Or maybe when you met the love of your life, or you met someone incredibly famous and you were suddenly at a loss for words, those emotions can overwhelm you to the point that your normal thinking processes that you depend on on a day-to-day basis are altered a little bit. So before I let you go, real quick, let's chat about the next step of your essay. So this week, you will be writing the thesis statement for your persuasive essay. Be sure you have a clear persuasive stance and the 3 reasons or arguments to persuade others to your stance. Make sure those are visible in the thesis statement. Oh, also, be sure the thesis statement is only 1 sentence in length. Check out this week's thesis statement worksheet and then follow up with me in the individual forum or through phone if you guys have any questions. We'll also create it's a fallacy study guide. So these are kind of like little index cards, pretend they are, when you open up the worksheet this week. You are more than welcome, for those of you in my class. So if you're watching this video, probably you're in my class, but if you're not, double check with your instructor. But in my class, Sarah Robertson, PHI 105, you guys will need to, I'm more than willing to allow you to copy and paste the exact definition from the ebook or from another supplemental reading that's defining that fallacy. You can copy and paste. Just put direct quotation marks around it. You don't need an in-text citation this time because I've seen, and this is a worksheet, and I've just seen these definitions so many times that I know right where they came from. So again, copy and paste. You can put them in there. Just put direct quotation marks around them. The examples, however, so in each little card, each little study guide card, with each vocab word, you'll have your definition. Oh, I should do it this way if it's on the camera. So you have your definition, your word, definition, and then there's supposed to be a little spot for an example. You need to create that example on your own. Now, there are plenty of examples out there, and usually some of those definitions in the ebook will give a way to think about that definition. You can definitely use that as a springboard for your own idea, but I don't want to see the exact same example. Being able to provide your own example of that fallacy shows me that 1, you understand the definition, you understand the fallacy, and 2, that you can apply it into something else. The other thing that this will help you do, since this class is kind of around the brain, critical thinking, memory in chapter 1, going through the process of creating your own example helps you own that definition, and it will help you remember and store that fallacy in your long-term memory. So make your own example. If you have questions, let me know. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye.